Okay, this is my second video about currency in a model. Now I'm in Amsterdam today. It's kind of like my home base. Whoops, somebody's at the door. I've got it. Okay, so what we're going to do is take care of this number 4, which is, let's define, and I think I didn't do this carefully. Let's carefully define what kind of currency our cash flows occur in. So we're going to go to the assumptions page, and remember we have Egyptian pounds and USD as our kind of local and foreign currency. And then I said, well, okay, let's say, is it local or foreign? So let's define our currency for our EPC outlays. Let's define the currency for our revenues. Now I put them like this, but we're going to do it differently. And let's define the currency for our operating expenses. And I think one way to do this is to put, well, is it local or foreign? And we'll just put a little true or false. Now, if you press Shift Control C, the new revised Shift Control C, if it's true or false, it does mark that as a thing to do. And what we do here is just put not true. So if it's true, and then we put currency here, and simply say, if it's true, then we'll take the local. Is that right? Yes. If it's true, then we'll take the local. Otherwise, the foreign. Okay? So, and we can do that for all of the EPC. This demonstrates so clearly kind of the structure of the model. So we'll put local. How we can copy these things here? We can even put this little F4 here, right? Okay, how about this? Okay. And let's do the same thing for the expenses. And I was just about to say, it really demonstrates that any model is a function of revenues, expenses, capex, like I've been saying, and one consistent thing I've been saying for way too many years. Okay, so let's make our currency in local. Let's make our EPC in foreign. Now you could, of course, put some foreign and some domestic and split it all up. Of course, we know that. And let's also make our operating expense in hang on, this is false, so this is true. Let's make this in false. Okay, so then now we go to our model, and in our model, let's put the, and I think, why don't I fix the exchange rates? Current exchange rate, let's just put it as about 8. I don't know exactly what it is, okay? And then we've got our price index, and we've got, it should say, and okay, we have 2 different price indices. Looks like I had no inflation in one, and then it eventually goes up. Okay, so now let's work through our revenues, and the basis for our revenues, now we have to be a little careful here. if it's local, let's just get the input. So the revenues, here they are. We'll put this true and false here, so we can go down here. And you know that if I press Shift Control C, if we take those directly from the other sheet, it'll color it from the assumptions, okay? Enough coloring stuff. Okay, I was afraid it was going to walk up. Okay, so now if it's true, that means we take our base, if it's true, and press the F4, of course, then we take the base price and we multiply it by the price index, which is the local price index. Otherwise, we take the foreign one and we multiply that by our adjusted final exchange rate. Okay? Shift Control R. Okay? Same thing here. If it's true, F4, then take the base amount, the base price, and multiply it by the index, which is the foreign. I hope I did that right in the last one. Otherwise, take the local price and divide it by our adjusted final exchange rate. Okay, so this was, we multiplied it by 33, and this one, if it was true, we multiplied it by 34. So now we have the capability to do this kind of in either currency. Once you get the price right, then the revenues, whether it's local or foreign, are the total yield. This is a solar project, remember, times our already adjusted price. Now we have our O&M expenses that we said here we put them in terms of per kilowatt per year. And I think we're going to have to do the same thing. Let's just, and we're going to have to kind of adjust this, I think. Let's put our base, let's call this our base O&M, and this our base. Okay, and again, I hope you're not angry with me for doing this, but for now, let's just hold that flat, okay? And then now we can inflate these, okay? And the so let's put inflated O&M and we can put local or foreign. Now I put the revenues in local currency and expenses in foreign, so what we'll do is the same thing here, and we'll get our basis for our currency. And as you know, you could do this in multiple currencies. So we could, so we should put, if we're going to use a foreign, then we would take this one and multiply it by our foreign inflation index. And I did it wrong. This was local. So if this is true, then we take the O&M expenses and multiply it by our local index. Otherwise, we go down one and multiply the amount we pay, in this case in USD, times the exchange rate we'll have to pay. Now, if there's this revaluation and devaluation in the exchange rate, this could have an effect on things. Okay? And then we'll do the same thing here. If we pay our expenses in USD, then we are going to take the amount we pay and multiply it by the exchange rate, the inflation rate in foreign. Otherwise, we'll go up to the local amount we pay, and we'll divide that by the final exchange rate. Okay, Shift Control 1, perhaps Shift Control R. Now, unfortunately, I need to add a couple of lines, and then we'll put local, and then we'll put O&M in foreign currency. That's the idea. Okay, and notice that this one, I think it's a little better form to take it directly from here, you know, so you can see this was in pounds, USD. Okay, and we can do the same thing here. Let's put it in pounds first, and then let's put it in USD. Okay, and when we now when we compute this, let's take this amount, which is in, you know, this is really in this one per, we should be much, you can see how important it is. I make these mistakes on purpose, you know, so you can see how important this whole thing is. This one is this times our capacity. Okay, and I hope that's our capacity before degradation. And this one is this times our capacity before degradation. It's almost as if, for me, too many things are going on. Oops, I can't do my Shift Control D here, but okay, let's just make sure that all worked. Here we got our expenses, and then it went to 0. Okay? And again, what we did here is put in our annual model. Now, what we'll have to do is just make a little adjustment. And this is unbelievable. How could that be? That I would make such a mistake? Oh my God. The local minus the, it should always be the same column. Oh my God, what's happening to me? Foreign minus the foreign. Okay. Okay, so on this one I used the Shift Control D before, and now we have our O&M expenses. And what we should be able to see is, let's try this. How about, I think, let's kind of put a freeze paint. Alt, what is it? Alt, WFF or something. Let's just put our project IR in USD here. Okay, and this is kind of the pre-tax IR. Very good IR. Okay, and goods, unless you're paying the bill, that is. Okay, now if we would change this, put our revenues in, and let's make sure and have kind of an extreme thing. Let's put some devaluation, some real devaluation in foreign and local. So we've got kind of a big difference here. Okay. So if we have this, if our revenues were in USD, we get a big difference. And then if our expenses were in USD, we get a big difference too. Now on the, because I wasted so much time on the kind of EPC analysis, I left it in USD. There's not much inflation there, but you could absolutely do the same option for the currency. And perhaps here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish this video and I'm going to do it myself. So up here where we said EPC outlays, we said it's all in USD, but we should put an option for making it all in the local currency as well. Okay, that's enough for this second. This is kind of the part 2 of currency